Hey, my name is Mauricio Prinslao, and here at CloudWords we compare the best cloud services and apps for personal and business use. And today we are going to have a look at two major enterprise or business cloud storage and file sharing services, namely Box and Egnyte, or Egnyte and Box. If you need any individual consultation regarding online file storage and sharing solutions, you can just click here and you get to another page where you can just enter your details and we're going to get in touch to find the best solution for your business. In my work as a consultant for enterprises and businesses, especially for cloud file sharing apps and services, there are basically two major issues that arise for businesses. One is the ease of use. So if a particular service or app is not easy to use, most likely employees will not adapt to that particular service. So the problem is they need to find a solution that is both easy to use and on the other hand that is also secure, because there's lots of sensitive information on their local premises that need to be stored properly so that no third party that is not authorized could access those files. So the cloud file solution that a business chooses needs to house both of those issues perfectly and need to take care of that demand by businesses. And Egnyte and Box are both services that I believe do fit this bill very well. They're both very easy to use and they are secure. However, there are major differences when it comes to the overall approach of those services towards online file storage solutions or file sharing solutions. So in this review or in this comparison, we're going to have a look at both services. We're going to have a look at the pricing and we're going to have a look at some features. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give an overall recommendation which service you should pick as an enterprise. When we look at both Egnyte and Box, both are extremely successful companies. Egnyte has been around since 2007, and Box has started a little earlier in 2005. So there's a little bit more experience on the market, and what really sticks out is that Box seems to be a lot more present on the market. That is, well, mainly due to their increased marketing budget. They're spending a lot of money on marketing. They're on a lot of roadshows, on a lot of conferences. They're basically everywhere. So that's why they have a lot more customers than Egnyte. So Box, for example, currently counts with 25 million users, whereas Egnyte only has 1.1 million users. Now, the number of users obviously is no real quality indicator of that service, but it gives you a ballpark, more or less, where in the competitive landscape each service is located. Now, the thing is that Box offers a so-called freemium model, which means as a consumer or even as a business, you can sign up for free and you get 10 gigabyte of free cloud storage. But obviously you don't have to pay for the service right away. So those free users do count into the 25 million users, whereas maybe only 5% or even less of those free users do pay for a business service for Box, for a paid plan, basically, where they get all the features Box offers. Egnyte does not have a permanent unlimited free account. They do offer for businesses a 15-day free trial where you can basically experiment with this service. You do not get access to all the major features. You will, even in the free trial, you're not going to get access to some of the nitty-gritty admin controls or remote access controls. But it gives you an overall idea how easy it is to use, and you can make a decision whether or not this is something for your business. So I highly recommend you sign up for the free trial before deciding on an actual service. So both services offer cloud storage or online file storage or whatever you want to call it. However, their approach is a little different, where Box, on the one hand, only offers cloud storage, Egnyte approaches this concept a little differently with a hybrid approach. So you do not have to transfer all of your files into the cloud, but what you can do is you can use your on-premise storage and then access it from wherever you are using Egnyte as a funnel without having to transfer all your important and critical business files to Egnyte's servers. So this hybrid approach, where you can leave your storage on premises, and basically 90% of the businesses have still their files on premises and are a little weary of transferring the files to the cloud. Now you can access and share files on your premises because Egnyte has several advantages. It integrates with other storage vendors, for example, Synology or Netgear. So if you have some hard drives or other tools or other network-attached storage devices, for example, from those companies, they integrate nicely with Egnyte. When you go for Box, you have to commit fully to the cloud because Box wants all of your files basically on their servers. Now, both services, if you choose to transfer your files into the cloud, obviously there is a security risk. You have to be aware of that. But both services employ very good encryption for your files on transit and both on their premises. So you can be sure that your files are basically secure from hackers or other intruders that might want to spy on your company intel. So where are actually the major differences basically between Egnyte on the one hand and Box on the other hand? Now, as I've said before, Egnyte deploys a so-called flexible deployment where you have the option to go cloud only, on-prem only if you choose that, or you choose the hybrid approach, for example, with their synchronization solution where your files reside still on your computer or your servers, but those files can be synced over the cloud to other devices where other people can then access your files. Now, the files are also accessible via a web browser. This is true for both Egnyte and Box. And Egnyte offers an additional feature where you can, an additional app, this is what they call it, where you can map your cloud environment onto your system, so you can really use it as a virtual drive on your computer. And this is very, very, very handsome for editing files. Now, Box, on the other hand, has a lot of online document editing capabilities, so you have the option to really edit all your documents in the cloud and be a little bit more flexible with that. So both services, Box and Egnyte, obviously support mobile devices, so you can access all your files on a mobile device and manage your file synchronization and storage needs over a mobile device without any problem. What's interesting is, and this might be a deal breaker for some companies, is that Box, for example, only has a file size limit of 5 GB. So if you're frequently working with very large files, for example, if you are a movie production company or whatever type of company that deals with large amounts of data, this might be a deal breaker. On the other hand, Egnyte offers a 10 GB limits on your files. One of the better ways to manage your files with Egnyte is you can really have granular access and access control over the folder. So, for example, when you give 2 people access to one folder and there are several subfolders, you do not need to grant access to all the subfolders within the main folder if everybody needs to see the top folder but not all the folders above. So you can really easily set the file permissions. With Box, you can do that. There are a couple of workarounds, but it is a little more complicated. So because when you share a folder, a main parent folder, with Box users or within your team, everybody has automatically access to the subfolders. So now you can go obviously ahead and delete all the permissions for the individual subfolders, but this is a little more overhead. And overall, Egnyte it offers a little bit more flexibility and is a little bit more easy to use. However, you have a little more granular access as to what actually the people can do within those folders with Box. There are more permission levels, basically, as to which user can access what file and what is actually allowed to do with those files. So let's have a look at the pricing, and here's where it gets interesting, basically. So Egnyte is available for $8 per month per employee, and they start their plans for 5 terabytes of data. So 5 terabytes is a lot. Maybe you do not need more. Maybe you need less, but this is what you get for the standard plan. But you need a minimum of 5 employees, so you would not multiply 5 times 8, and you would end up with $40 basically per month if you choose the standard plan. And then it goes up to $15 per employee per month if you want to have more detailed admin features and obviously want to use more users, and you get more storage. You get 10 terabytes of storage. When we have a look at Box, as I said before, Box offers 10 gigabytes of free storage. You can basically explore a whole lot of the features they offer in the free version. Obviously not all, but the major features like file sharing and syncing and editing works just as well. But if you want to upgrade for the paid version, you pay $5 per user per month, and you have a minimum of 3 users. So basically the starting cost with Box is a little less, and you can then go ahead and upgrade, obviously, to a more expensive one, which would cost $15 per user per month with a minimum of 3 users. But on the other hand, you get unlimited storage. So for the standard plan, you get only, I believe it's 100 gigabyte of storage. So if you need more, if you need the unlimited storage, you have to go for the premium plan, which is $15 per month per user. One of the beauties of Egnyte, and this is really something I've came to love, is their plethora of apps that they offer that integrate nicely with their servers. So basically what you do is when you sign up, you get into the web interface of Egnyte, and then you can download, for example, the map drive support or the file synchronization service, just as you're used. If you maybe have been using Dropbox in the past, you download a client and you can sync your files across multiple devices. So you have basically the option to preview files in the web, or you can go completely off the web and do everything on premise or on your local computer, and editing files and then re-uploading them to Egnyte's servers. Now, there are a couple of interesting things that you can do with files and how you share files. So there's a file locking capability where you can absolutely say, so this file is not allowed to be edited. This can be useful for very important documents that only like the admin can move or edit around. You can obviously share folders, you can share files, you can set passwords for particular links. The only people with a password can access those files. And you have vast searching capabilities for your contents. And if you have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 files, search features and a proper search is very important. And Egnyte does this very well. So Box, on the other hand, does not have a map drive. We have already covered that. And FTP access is also not possible as of today. But you get really nice access permissions. As I said before, you have granular control over who sees what, and also you have file locking capabilities that you would expect from an enterprise-grade service. Both services, Egnyte and Box, offer a so-called Active Directory and single sign-on service that you can use to further protect the access of your files within both services. I mentioned before that security is a very, very important aspect when it comes to choosing which file storage solution is best for your business. And both services offer a so-called Tier 2 SSAE 16 compliant facility storage. So this is a highly secure storage system, and also offer a 256-bit AES encryption on transit and on premises. So your files are, again, encrypted. So now the grand question is, which of those two services, Egnyte and Box, should you pick? Now, in my experience, and I can talk from my experience and other clients' experience that I've worked with, most of those clients prefer Egnyte because Egnyte is very easy to use, and they offer this so-called hybrid approach where you can also use your data offline. You do not have to transfer your files to the cloud. On the other hand, Box is a really feature-rich solution for online document viewing and editing, and even assigning different tasks and to people. For example, if you want to assign a task to your staff to do a certain, or to revise a certain document, you can do this within Box without any problem. And this is something that obviously is lacking in Egnyte. Now, you can't go wrong with both services. Both services are actually pretty secure. Both services are pretty easy to use, so they fit this bill pretty well. Overall, both services perform very well when it came to transferring files to the cloud and the overall look and feel of the services. So in the end, it's your decision. You can find an in-depth, detailed comparison chart on cloudwords.net/Egnyte-versus-Box. There's where you can find all the information and a written guide, basically, of this review. This is Mauricio Prinslao for cloudwords.net, and we're going to see us in a next video where we compare other cloud services and apps, and also more informational videos on cloud storage and other types of services that you can use in the cloud. We're going to see us in the next video. Bye-bye.